Hello, my beautiful Virgos. Hi. Welcome back. I am just totally out here catching a vibe right now, trying to ground myself, get ready to do your July 2020 tarot readings. For those that are new, welcome. It's a privilege and honor to read for you and connect with you and ascend with you. Please like, share, subscribe. It's much appreciated. And for those that are returning, I want to thank you guys for your support and your patience with me. I am not going to be doing personal readings until September. I've been downloaded that I have to pull back and make myself available for myself in a way that I make myself available for my clients in the personal readings. And I'll be honest, like I can't deliver the kind of deep truths that I deliver in the readings without my emotional availability. I can't crack people open and leave them there. And that's how I've been feeling. So my readings have lacked the compassion, and I can't deliver those kind of truths without it. That's just not the kind of reader I am. So I need to pull back, fill my cup, tend my cup. And come September is when I feel like at least this tribe here will want that one-on-one support and need certain compassion. And it's not even because anything bad's going to happen. I just feel that there is this build-up energy in July for the collective leading up until August. And come September, whatever occurs in August, I'll be back on the scene, Lord willing, doing the personal readings, okay? And I'll be a lot more available and balanced, all right? So yeah, I'm already feeling that way. I'm already feeling better. I had to pull back from doing the June readings, and that wasn't so much about the emotional availability. It was because I didn't have the emotional capacity to give a fuck about that old karmic cycle anymore. Like I was really, really done with it. And then the divine was making me look very much within myself about wrapping up this cycle, from everything from behavioral patterning to memories, all kinds of shit. So that's why I'm pulling back to do the work that makes me any service to you guys in the spiritual journey. So yeah, I'll still do the Patreon daily and weekly content over there, but guys, it's a different vibe. I'm literally going through the energies with you guys. Sometimes I'm wild eyes, sometimes my inner child's skipping, sometimes I'm in a dark night and we're in a dark night together and we're going through that valley. I do want to address that because I do feel that coming in. You guys did get the strength card. We're going to get into prayer and everything, but I was downloading this energy surrounding this strength, and it's an inner strength. And some of you guys, Virgos, are going through what you've been hearing is called a dark night. I want you to be aware that this is actually the valley of the shadow of death. Okay? It's not actually a dark night. I personally believe through my journey, the reason why it comes out like a night, like a temporary, is because when you're down, you shine. And when you shine, you feel great, even in the darkest of places. You're living your truth, you're shining, and you're healing, even under those circumstances. So I feel like some of you needed some validation that it actually isn't a night and it's a valley. And I believe that we do that journey when we choose and will the path of the divine, very much like Big Bro Jesus went through the valley of the shadow of death. I believe we all, when we choose the conscious path, go through that valley. And I believe we agreed to go through it before we ever reincarnated here, because of the level of consciousness that your soul already acquired through the many lifetimes you lived. So trust and believe, though, that this is a valley. It's not the way the world is. Some of you are needing to gain the strength to bend or lean more into your inner knowing about the optimism of light and life, and that it's not all doom and gloom, even though you're feeling that way. Because some of you guys are in the valley, but you're not shining bright enough, so it seems very, very dark. You lighting up the valley also gets you to see ahead of you how to move forward through the valley of the shadow death, closer to its exit. So I believe that's what the hermit energy is. It's when you throw it's that part of your soul that is going through that dark journey to better understand. And it's not just a night and a series of nights. It's a valley and a course of your life. And a lot of you guys are coming out of it because what did you learn how to do through that valley of the shadow of death is tame the part of you that resided there. So when you went into the valley of the shadow of death, I believe we reclaimed our shadow And then through that journey, through the valley of the shadow of death, we tame our shadow and we leave with that part of us, still the lowest, darkest part of us, still seeking truth and the divine and having an understanding, compassion, love for even the darkest of energies because of an understanding that you gained walking through that valley. I'm not talking about the choice you make about living, letting your inner angel live, or living a life of light. That is a choice that requires a certain amount of strength. How can you choose a life of light if you've never been exposed to darkness? You choose that life of light in dark places. That's really when you are talking about something. That's really when your faith is tested. That's really when you learn to shine. That's where your spiritual test. That's where I believe that story in the Bible of, was it David or Daniel? And the devil bet, I'll take everything from this man and he won't believe in you when I'm done. And God's like, my son, my daughter? I don't think so. And karma was the amount of time that energy had to try to turn you pessimistic about life, turn you dark, get you to surrender light, get you to give up on its purpose, its existence, its impact. And then that designated amount of time, judgment energy, which I believe is what those angels are sounding the horns that said, time's up. And then you're gone through judgment where you're evaluated spiritually, your soul, right here on earth. I feel like it's the same judgment process that occurred when we died and we went to heaven. We go through the judgment day. I believe we're going through it alive. And it's funny because there's ancestors that said that we were coming to a time where I believe, which sistren was it? Was it Tier? I think it was Tier. Shout out to Tier. She was saying that our ancestors said that in 50 years, this was like 20 years ago, 30 years ago, that in 50 years, we would have karmically, as human beings, wrapped up enough karma that we don't have to die in order to wrap it up. We can actually live karma-free, balanced life, right? So I just feel like, I don't know, some of you need to know that it's to relinquish time, because time is involved, but it's not, you're not privy to it, and you don't determine. There's nothing you can do to try to manipulate the timing process. Because like I said, when those trumpets are sound, the bet's done. And a lot of you still maintained your faith, your light, your integrity. I see this as integrity. Lions are vicious and they're killers, but they have high integrity. That's why they don't like hyenas, because hyenas are killers too, but they lack integrity. All right. All right, guys, let's, yeah, we prayed, I'm pretty sure. Did we pray? I don't know if we prayed. I don't think we did, so I'm going to do it again. But if we did, this might sound strange because you might be like, Destiny, you literally just prayed 2 minutes ago. But I've been out here and doing the reading, so I've already prayed 3 or 4 times now. So, but let's just do it. Better twice than none. Yeah, I don't know if I did it. Okay. Father God, Holy Spirit, ancestors, guardian angels, thank you for rising me up out of my bed this morning, and thank you for connecting me with the collective every day. Right now in particular, please allow me to communicate clearly with the collective of Virgo, all the messages that are in their greatest good, surrounding their material abundance, sustenance, the relationships closest to them, their personal ascension and development, and any other messages that you deem worthy at this time. Thank you, Father God, Holy Spirit, ancestors, guardian angels, for everything you do for me and the collective on a regular. All the healing energy, the support, the love, the guidance, and the protection. We are nothing without it, and we are nothing without you. So glory be to the Most High, forever and ever. Amen. The Divine's so cute. The Divine said to me, don't worry about if you prayed twice, because if we get you to pray again and you forgot that you prayed, it was because you needed to pray again to ground yourself and truly set intention. That's what the Divine was telling me during the prayer. Like, don't hesitate. If you feel to do it twice, it's because we're telling you to do it again. All right, roger that. Okay. Let's see. My beautiful Virgos, what's going on with you guys? I really feel like you guys are battling negative thoughts. You guys are consciously aware that this is a negative dialogue and you are having to take a lot of time, maybe alone, in order to practice how to ground and detach from it and pull away from it. And just know that you'll gain strength doing that and won't have to isolate yourself as much in order to reclaim your energy and ground yourself and tame any inner darkness. For some of you, some of you are really being triggered by your shadow, and you cannot tame your shadow before you acknowledge what the fuck your shadow is trying to tell you. You tame it by not letting it live and lash out and project all the pain that it has on other people. But you have to listen to what it's trying to tell you. It's angry at you for a reason. It's angry at people for a reason because it's hurting. So some of you might be trying to tame this animal without having experience, meaning trying to tame your shadow without actually knowing what it's trying to tell you. And that's not going to work. Like I said, the shadow will really lash out against you if it feels that you are ignoring it or not addressing it. It'll just get louder and louder, and you'll feel like you're not moving forward out of the darkness. And it's because, again, you're not shining your light, meaning I want to see very clearly what the problem is, why I get triggered by this, why this is bothering me. Because for some of you, you've been in a relationship dynamic, could even be career too, where you feel like you're being strong. You've been taming a voice inside you that's telling you, I fucking can't stand this. Like, you guys could be at work taming this part of you that is angry and bitter and rude and resentful, instead of addressing what your shadow is telling you. And it's saying, I don't want to work here anymore. I don't want to do this anymore. And you're not listening. So fuck these people, fuck them, and fuck you. That's the energy some of you guys have going to work and are trying to tame that energy. You cannot tame it. I mean, you can, but it's like a Band-Aid. It's like you're not addressing what the real issue is. Even if you're not going to do anything about it, like I said, you're not going to let your inner shadow live and get you to cuss the shit out of your boss and quit your job. But what you are going to do, okay, is calm it the fuck down by listening to it and of what it's telling you. Right? And I honestly feel like this is my shadow communicating it to you, but I'm ascending my shadow, trying to get it to be even more compassionate, even reading on darker, lower vibrational energies. I'm ascending the whole fucking ship. You know what I'm saying? My shadow has no choice but to get with the program. And the only way I could convince my shadow to get with the program was to listen to why it didn't want to get with the program and why it didn't give a fuck about the program. And that's why I'm being asked to pull back, because I need to address the wounds that get me to not give a fuck. And some of you guys feel the same. So don't avoid what it is, because some of you, it's in a relationship and you feel like you're being a strong lover by rejecting or pushing down your shadow energy. So for some of you, though, your shadow is going to project out. So now, because I'm getting, for some of you, because this could be you or another person, you are trying not to lash out. You're trying not to get your inner shadow to lash out at somebody. So because you don't tame it, because you're not listening and observing at what's wrong, you are taking yourself away from somebody, or somebody is pulling back from you. And it's because they are not addressing what is making them feel the way they are about you. And it might not be a good thing. It might not even have anything to do with you. Like, it could be somebody saying, like, I'm not ready to love because I have all these wounds, and this person is going and loving you and then pulling back, and they're not in a third party situation. They're pulling back because they are being triggered to make themselves available and love themselves in a way that they are loving you. Right? No. I don't know if I said that right. I feel like another message just came in there. This is also this Leo August energy. I don't know what it is. You guys can let me know. I feel like I've been asking you for months because, like I said, I usually never get time. I'm not privy to it, but I'll be able to tap into the feelings and the thoughts and all kinds of other shit. This time it's the other way around. I keep downloading August, but I cannot see. I can't tap in. It's almost like the divine is blocking it from me. Like I'm only going to see it in August. but you guys have been tapping into that too. You guys have been getting Leo energy. You guys have been like, I'm haunted with 888. I'm like, that's Leo energy. Like, that's August. I mean, a lot of people, even other readers I've seen, were tapping into that energy too. And I'm like, fuck. And it was strange. I didn't know if they weren't really reading into what was going on. They too were just saying like, something might be happening for you in August. I'm like, something happening for all of us in August, I feel like. Very, very collective energy. How it plays out and affects everybody individually, who knows? But I just feel like it's a positive energy. Who knows? The High Priestess. The Magician. The Seven of Swords. Who knows? Some of you are being initiated to step into your power by trusting your instincts that is telling you somebody's playing you. Some of you know it, but I don't think there's any proof, because the Magician is because I didn't know if the Magician was in reverse until I saw the Seven of Swords. Now I know that this is not actually a master manifester. This is a master manipulator who needs to be a manipulator to get other people to manifest for them because they can't. Some of you know. Some of you knew that some of the questions or the way somebody wanted to do or go about something with you wasn't right, and that they were trying to manifest something through you, because on the new timeline, karmic people are going to be trying to manifest through people on the new timeline to avoid doing the work, getting onto there. So there'll be this exposure to the old karmic cycle, and really having to put into practice how you are no longer karmic because you no longer do the same thing, meaning you manifest for people in order to create codependent bonds. Because some of you guys are alone and need to sit in the strength of being alone, because some of you are being tested right now with regards to you being in sacred space. Because I feel like for some of you that are single or alone, you're about to manifest key people in your life, from romantic partners to friends, and the divine is testing you. I should say God, because it's light and dark energies. That is karmically, you're being tested by the whole cycle. So it would be light and dark energies. If you're at the end of it, you're going to be tested. And I just feel like some of you, because this could be past energies, I'm reading it two ways. If this is in the present, this is you needing to trust your instincts to know that something is not right with this person and they're trying to manifest through you, and that you need not let them do it because you're codependent and don't want to be alone anymore. Moving forward with the strength, knowing that it's not worth it. Whatever this person is manipulating, whatever they offer, you know it's not worth whatever they're asking of you or needing, or that you can evaluate they need from you. For some of you, this person doesn't even know how much they need from you, that they can't give you in return, and you can identify that, and you need the strength to let somebody go and move forward. 2, your wish fulfillment, because you're divinely guided. You already know what's ahead. The High Priestess knows what's ahead. That's why she would leave this behind. Some of you are identifying that you don't have a viable manifestation. You are trying to manifest either a business partner, a friend, or a romantic relationship, and you are realizing this is before this is even done. The High Priestess books the flex before it's even done. So this is you tapping in intuitively into the poor intentions that somebody has. But a part of you is like, well, maybe it's not. You need to look at why you don't want to see that. And for some of you, it's because this person, all they can offer is some kind of attention, some kind of companionship, intimacy. But the Magician would only give you the illusion of that. There's no consistency. There's no follow through. There's no foundation here. So some of you guys are going to have to tap into the strength, or what you'll do is just find it out. Find out what your intuition already knew that you didn't have the strength to rely upon. Like if you don't have the strength to back up your intuition and you say, I want to explore this, it's fine. You'll wrap up the karmic cycle really quick going, oh, I guess I was right. Now, for some of you, this is the Seven of Swords though. So to me, that's a very big difference from the Five of Swords. The Five of Swords is just some hurt people shit. It's narcissism in the sense of it's really just a lesser of, okay, this is based in a deep-rooted insecurity. Now, when you get to the Seven of Swords, these are people who enjoy watching people suffer, because in the Five of Swords, you don't really enjoy it. You're just more like, I made a point. Like, the whole point of the Five of Swords is that it's a game that somebody played and that nobody wins. So everybody feels hurt in the end, and everybody just ends up feeling hurt and knowing how hurt everybody feels. The Seven of Swords is direct malice. So some of you need to be initiated into loving yourself enough to know that you do not deserve to be exposed to whatever your intuition is telling you this fool has up their sleeve. Because you'll literally get here and you'll know it, and it won't even be about this person. It'll just be about why you allow this to continue to happen to you. Because you're awakened now. The new timeline, you're awakened, so you'll really feel this. So karma plays out faster. We build faster. We do a lot of things faster because we're not partially asleep, sleepwalking, you know? So I just feel like some of you are going to wrap up some old karma on the new cycle, whether it is dropping this before this is experienced or experiencing it and dropping it, and it won't even be about this person. The consciousness will become so clear that you'll wrap up the karma, and then boom. Either way though, you guys are going to get the strength to wrap this up. I say that because I don't want you to beat yourself up if you karmically are drawn to experience this, even if you know it's no good. Because karmically, the lesson might not be in identifying this and using your intuition. You might be karmically challenged to love yourself enough not to be done like this when you feel this, when you know somebody's not right. And then some of you are going to go through it and have a massive heart chakra awakening, where you should see the vulnerable little child in you that's begging you to stop. Some of you, your inner child's begging you to stop something. For some of you, there's somebody that you are subject to. It's most likely a friend or a romantic partner, or it is this family member. But I'm gathering that your inner child recognizes somebody that you've karmically brought into your life as traumatizing them, bringing them some kind of fear, anxiety, or lack of stability. Your inner child is looking at somebody like this person. Your inner child is begging you to stop subjecting, because your inner child now feels like it's gone through this for 40 years. So your toxic childhood is now expanded past your childhood years. This is what somebody's inner child is telling me, right? This is letting your inner feminine and masculine energy come into union to address what your inner shadow is saying about pain that is harbored. Sorry guys, I don't want the charcoal to out. Ow, 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 ow. Ow. People like the frankincense. They don't like it or they like it, but that is always a reflection to me of them, not the frankincense.
But the fire department, because it's cold, says that as long as you have food, and marshmallows, marshmallows just don't have it.
She really tried to yell about that whole fire department with my charcoal. She can try it, but people are so passive aggressive with the Ace of Wands. It's not you. It's the lady who felt like I must be an idiot setting all this on fire. It's a controlled charcoal situation. But anyways, there's the Five of Swords. All right, tapping back into this energy here. Okay, yeah. Let's see what else we get from that though. Wow, the King of Cups and the Six of Wands. Yeah, some of you guys are gonna, this for some of you is an act of self-love. This isn't an offering of love to somebody. This is you being victorious enough to love yourself by telling somebody, I'm not with the shit. I'm not going to, I gotta let you go because you come with this, or I know you're ill-intentioned, or I know that somebody can't help themselves. I feel like this magician can't help themselves, and you're identifying that. I think for a long time you might have felt that this energy was specific to you. I feel like this high priestess realizes this person can't help themselves. I need to get away from them and love themselves enough to let somebody go. Because if you look here, the magician, I feel like, was able to manipulate somebody here with this cup, and what was going to stop this magician from having an in could be the wand too, the phallic energy, but I'm more getting it was this cup, because the King of Cups steps in and says, I don't need this manipulative cup that comes with all this bullshit. Every time I take a sip, I get stabbed. So now relying on your own cup and valuing it. I'm also gathering that someone, I'm just looking at this dynamic, because now I'm seeing it as two masculines looking at a feminine. One of them is demonic. The other one seems genuine. And what's good is the genuine one seems closer. Now, if it's the same person, I feel like they might be taking an approach, but you have been able to victoriously identify somebody's ill nature by not taking it personal, loving yourself enough to not taking it personal, and realizing why somebody does what they do. Some of you got savvy to something, and it has to do with love and cup and emotions. And when somebody now steps into their power and values their love, they now realize that this person used their cup because they knew this person didn't have one in tow. They didn't positively reinforce themselves. So this person can come and just say these nice things. Oh, you're great, and you did good, and da 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 da. Meanwhile, back at the ranch, they're robbing them, talking shit about them, fucking other people. And the reason why this energy could play this person in this way is because that was all they needed. Somebody had all those other things. It was the cup. See, this is what happens when you seek outside of yourself. And I'm just seeing somebody no longer seeking outside of themselves, victoriously moving into their new timeline, but being able to see exactly how they were able to be played because of what they lacked within themselves. I hope this is coming out clear, because this could be you, this could be somebody else. There's people involved. There's a strange dynamic here, the way the cards naturally came out. Somebody is also involved into, I'm getting like a closet high priestess. So somebody who like lives a very third dimensional lifestyle and has gained a certain level of accolade. And I feel like there's a whole like royalty that somebody lives out privately and not publicly. I'm seeing this closet high priestess, essentially. You guys are still doing that. I told you guys in April or May or whatever that I was tapping into that energy of you guys having a fight devil energy that tells you that you guys aren't ready enough or can't be just as successful in another area, or that you would be relinquishing some kind of success if you were to let this part of you live, or you wouldn't be admired or respected as much if you let this part of you live. For some of you, I'm tapping into somebody who doesn't feel confident about living out their spirituality. They're still doing it in private. This could be somebody just as simple as like somebody pretending they don't watch tarot and they do. Not even because their family pressures them, just because they don't think they'll get the same kind of approval or admiration, or they're worried about how these people will judge them, going from putting their hand up to fucking giving them the finger or saying some other shit. Then at the bottom, we got the Six of Cups, the Four of Wands, and the Queen of and Death. I feel like for some of you guys, somebody might be returning back, because I'm getting this. I'm getting that some of you, the only reason why you're reflecting on something from the past is because somebody presented or brought something to you. Somebody is trying to convince you that if something is done differently, you can have the foundation that they know somehow you want. So this could have been somebody that you spoke to about building a life and a foundation with, that then maybe took their cup elsewhere and manifested it elsewhere, only for that not to work out and then return back to you, right? Because that seems like a truth. Somebody feels like being honest is telling you that they went and tried to manifest love somewhere else and it didn't work out. So it looks like somebody's trying to be honest, like gain the strength to be truly honest. But I don't think that really changes the fact that that hurts you enough to, I don't know, because I feel like a part of you believes that this person, okay, has changed, and you see them as being honest. I see you guys, the Queen of Swords is receiving the Knight of Swords, saying, yes, I receive this as being the truth. With the High Priestess, yes, I receive this as being the truth. I don't know if it changes the fact that this energy, somebody doesn't want to manifest. I'm going to say it if it's as if it's you. Some of you guys believe and appreciate this truth and believe it and all this good shit, right? The Seven of Swords. Ooh. Oh, that's where it's malice. This is where it's going to feel malice. Okay, now I'm tapping in. For some of you, there is somebody in particular who is returning back to you, who took the cup that you offered them, and because they lacked self-love, they literally mimicked your love, what you offered, the kind of lover you are. They mimicked it and took it somewhere else. So there's somebody who was looking at them like the greatest lover, and they were literally mimicking you, only to experience themselves from the perspective of how you experienced them, and are now saying to that person who dogged them, saying, you lost a good thing, only to now realize the good thing they want to go back to feels the exact same way about them. I tried the best I can to get that out, and if it doesn't make sense, that's too bad, because I'm moving on. I'm not going to try to communicate that again. You guys know I love repeating myself, but I couldn't repeat that if I tried. All right. Some of you guys are coming into union with a new soulmate. And why I say that is because I feel like this shyness from the feminine, this eagerness, it's kind of like that sandbox energy. I did a daily reading about the sandbox energy, tapping into some of you guys were left at the sandbox. You guys had a friend, right? I feel like this fountain came channeled to me as a sandbox. And you guys were at the sandbox and you had a friend, and your friend left the sandbox to go chill with the cool kids and left you behind, and you felt hurt because you had all these plans to build a sandcastle. And then you ended up building the sandcastle on your own, and then a new friend comes to the sandbox, and they've got a bowl, whatever you call it, a bin, a scooper. They even got those little molds for the sand. They're ready. They're fucking ready. And a part of you guys are just feeling a little bit vulnerable. I see the dove that she's holding. I feel like some of you guys are really sensitive about the peace that you've gained and need to identify that somebody's matching you with a similar piece. Yes, it looks different, but the fact of the matter is this is peace. I see a peaceful exchange. I see a really humble interaction. I feel like this person coming towards you, collective, is a little bit naive. I feel like they might be reflecting to you the naive part of you. So it's you needing to have respect for that, because on the new timeline, you're going to be tested with not being the karmic energy. So you guys are going to be manifesting third-party situations. The difference is it's all over the table. It's not a lie, and it's just a matter of I am connecting with two people, monogamously, platonically determining who I want to be in a monogamous relationship with. Okay? But yeah. There's so many messages coming in. It's because it's like the backlog energy, and if not seeing you guys, there's a lot that's happened. There's a lot that's also going to happen too. It's just going to be a roller coaster. I get why the divine wants me to look within and pull back and re-establish my energy. It's because of September, October, November. And mind you, August seems to be the big, but I feel like it's not going to be energy draining, and if anything, it's going to be energy invigorating. Like it's going to be a shot of energy to the collective, or at least the ones that I'm tapping into. But that shot of energy is very much for those who are in alignment to do what the divine needs them to do in these very transformative times. Because like I said, I believe that with death here, that November is going to reflect for the collective this death energy. Whether it's COVIDious and people looking at it like it's actually death, people getting sick, there's going to be death energy, but I believe that a lot of the collective is going to absorb this energy and experience it as COVIDious, the great lover, humanity, and optimism. So it's more so on the transformative side of the death energy than the actual non-existence of life in a situation or whatever the case is. Like an ending, like something, when I see the death card and it's an ending that will never be revisited unless it was in reverse. Then this could be somebody under the impression or pretending that something is done when they really aren't transforming because they actually haven't really ended something. So there's the denial, kind of like the tower in reverse. So I feel like November is going to be really pivotal. So a lot of the energy that you guys are being asked to accumulate and receive and be open to receiving is very important for what's going to occur come the end of 2020, because 2021 is really about building. It's going to reflect the foundations that you built internally with other people. So by the end of 2020, it's like you're locked in, loaded with the people that you're going to go through the next 3 years with, being like, this is why I manifested you. This is why I put this effort in for this relationship. I'm so grateful I have you in my life. I don't know what I would have done if you weren't here, or if I didn't have this money saved, or if I didn't move, or if I didn't. So all this alignment you guys have been prompted to do individually to create this Four of Wands energy, or even just looking at it as the Two of Wands, really sure about the path that you picked and what you're manifesting and what it should be a reflection of, which is this path. I feel like it's then going to be reflected to you and other people with their wands. So now it's this four energy, so within, so without. And the new karmic cycle is going to be about not doing it the old way, the way you are used to. So the beginning of this new cycle I've been tapping into is a lot about behavioral patterning. Your head and your heart has been reclaimed. So there's things that the collective is going to be doing that they're in their head they know they don't want to do or shouldn't, and in their heart they don't feel like doing it anymore. Why am I continuing to do this? Boom, that's where we look at the pathology, like the actual behavioral patterning, because that's also what we're rectifying and taking out of the bloodline, so that the children's aren't just so used to doing this too, even if their head and heart aren't in line with these actions and these behavioral patterns. Okay, so I see that a lot. And a lot of the relationships that you guys are bringing towards you in the new timeline is going to heal these patternings, meaning these friends and lovers are going to reflect them back to you real fast. And you're going to feel triggered. That's why I feel like for those of you that are stepping into the new timeline, you're struggling with being triggered by these relationships you're cultivating, because you're coming out of the illusion that the old karmic cycle gave you, that there's supposed to be some rosy, rose-colored glasses experience at the beginning of a relationship, when really, if you go and deal with the truths and the realities, not after but before, then there aren't rose-colored glasses. The season of roses come in, and you don't need glasses to see the beauty. You get what I mean? So it's like really allowing yourself not to back out of relationships and give up on them because you're being triggered. Remember, the light and the dark. Allow yourself to gain the unconditional love that it is that you want and so desperately seek, by living and letting people get to know both parts of yourself, but also knowing that you're going to have to experience and accept the light and the dark of somebody else too. But if you're in alignment, then that means you're in alignment to ascend. So even your shadow is going to understand somebody, and they aren't going to be in conflict. They're going to grow and ascend together. So even your shadow will feel like it has a buddy. Your inner child will feel like it has a partner and a support going forward. Masculine, feminine has that support in even just an individual person, right? So going from the Two of Wands to the Four of Wands is going to be really crucial. Okay. And we're going to be talking a lot in these readings about like going through these rocky moments, because I just see you guys being triggered and not identifying that the trigger is not a reason to pull back. The trigger is to see within yourself how you do the same thing. Some of you guys project trust issues onto people that are a reflection of how you still feel. because your karmic cycle created this pattern of just doing things like creeping or checking phones or being paranoid. Some of you don't feel paranoid and don't feel like you have a logic or a reason to be paranoid, but you're so used to doing things that are like, let me check the phone, let me do this, that, and you don't even feel to, like, it's like patterns. I don't know if it's coming out. I'm trying, guys. We're going to wrap up with some clarifications here, okay? My beautiful Virgos, let me know what you guys think. Like, share, subscribe. Whether this reading resonates or not, guys, just talk to me about what you guys are going through, you know? There's a reason why we're connected, why you felt drawn. And if you're in alignment, you can identify positively why you would have been drawn to this, right? Because I'm really like over the people that project onto me why they misalign themselves with these messages, this collective, with me, and they don't resonate with me, and then they make it my problem. When really the fact of the matter is it's a testament to your misalignment in life. How did you end up here? You're so disdained, you're so unhappy, you think I'm so trash, but you keep coming back, right? Because whatever trash you see in me is the trash you feel in yourself. I'm not going there. I'm not bringing that energy in, but it's just like, I need to let the collective do what it's doing, you know, and just not, I feel like a lot of the collective, not just readers, but the collective as a whole is being challenged to openly receive messages from the universe for light and for dark, and not being afraid of being exposed to dark messages because of your lack of control or being able to tame them, or trusting that you can protect yourself, right? And not trusting that you can tame what it is you hear from your shadow. It's needing to listen, but make a real choice. Like for me personally, I was really challenged with tapping into dark energies and reading from that place and tapping into the light. And the divine was like, make a choice. What place do you want to read from? And I said, I want to read from the light. Fuck, like, I've been in the dark for eons. Like, can I read from the light? Like, the divine's like, we'll make that choice, right? I said, I've been in the dark for eons. Can I read from the light? Right? So some of you guys are needing to make a choice to actually focus more on the higher vibrational downloads that you're getting. For some of you, it's not even about, because some of you have to do inner shadow work. I am getting that. But for some of you, it's not about that. For some of you, it's Anyways, I'm going to read that out of the book, but I want to pull from this first. There's a message here. There's something. Some of you need to muster up the strength to tell somebody you don't want to go ahead with them anymore. Some of you rather do something by yourself. The problem is you've already committed to do it with other people, and you're trying to find a way to sneak out. I also see somebody sneaking out of a party, out of an event, out of a house. Somebody could be moving without telling anybody. Somebody could be... For some of you, you're having a gathering and somebody takes somebody aside to tell them something that might create a confrontation. Or, get this, I feel like somebody at a party might tell somebody something and they leave and you don't know why they leave, and you try calling them and they don't respond. It's because of what somebody at that party said to them. And you'll find that out eventually, obviously. Motivation and paternal care. I feel like some of you guys are struggling to give yourself some of the, I feel like collectively in Cancerian, this whole eclipse Cancer energy, it's really just that mother of mothers energy getting us to nurture ourselves and unlock that feminine energy within in order to do it without, because there is this Empress energy that is required of all of us. Not just to nurture the people who are going through parts of this process, you know, now, and you might feel like you've already overcome it. Let your Empress feminine energy nurture people that might have not understood what you were trying to tell them, or I don't know, I feel like there's this Empress nurturing energy that you're going to need to give to other people. It's also this Empress energy you're going to need to cultivate certain things. Like creative energy, developing, like, I don't know, that kind of energy, but you can't nurture anything. Like, I mean, you can try, but it's not sustainable. You have to give yourself this mothering energy. And I feel like there is this, the paternal mother Cancerian energy is trying to motivate you to do something for yourself that's kind. It could be in an eternal healing where you just need to let certain emotions live without creating logic and get that healing done. It could be surrounding some like old infrastructures, like household, family infrastructures. But I also feel like it's motivation to do certain things. For some, I'm also tapping into somebody. The divine is trying to motivate somebody to see themselves as the parent that the divine sees them. For somebody, there's somebody here riddled with guilt. I'm hearing somebody say they're not good enough. They're not a good enough parent. I feel like there's somebody who is feeling drawn to offer paternal care to a child, but then there is this lack of motivation because devil energy is telling them they're not fit, they don't know how, or that this child will not want their care because it's not good enough or it's too late. I'll tell you right now, you're never too old to need your mama or your daddy or some paternal loving care. All right, nurturing, compassion, all that. Somebody to look up to, talk to, whatever. Lead when you can't, be strong when you can't, right? Even if they're not your actual paternal parents. I also feel like some of you have a bond to somebody. You feel like somebody is a child to you. You feel like you are connected to somebody who isn't your actual physical blood, but spiritually they're kin to you somehow, right? And I feel like for some, I'm tapping into somebody who is really close to somebody who's about to have kids and feels like a grandparent for children that aren't biologically theirs, and is trying to hold back love and this wanting to be there, but feeling like you're overstepping your bounds because you're not actually blood kin. But what's funny is it looks like this person's blood kin is leaving them cold and alone, and that is why they need you, or why they love and respect you and appreciate what you've been for them, because maybe their own actual blood hasn't been. I don't know where that's coming from. Yeah, moving, memories, and gracefully aging. I was getting into this gracefully aging, but I feel like in the collective, this is being really cognizant about caring about living. I feel like while many were in the valley of the shadow of death, they didn't care about living or aging gracefully. But now, as there's this revitalization, inspiration, and appreciation for life from this conscious place, there is this wanting to respect the body as the temple and give it what it needs so that it can age as gracefully as possible. But this also speaks as emotional maturing and aging gracefully, wanting to mature and age emotionally so that you can bring as much grace into your experience as possible, because the most graceful people have a level of experience and like an old soul type energy. Some of you are needing to move because you feel like where you live causes so much stress you couldn't age gracefully if you tried. Some of you guys are sentimental to somewhere you live because of the memories that are there, and that sentimentality is actually stopping you from creating new memories. Some of you are stuck somewhere because of past happiness you had somewhere, but if you really look at it, you haven't had that happiness in the past however many years. You're still clinging on to some kind of sentimental energy you have to a certain place, okay? It could be a person, but I'm more getting to like a place or a thing, but it's like a place that you can't let go because of some happy time you had there back in like the 80s or some shit. I'm joking, it could be any time. But I feel like the universe is trying to tell you need to make new memories, and this isn't a conducive place anymore. Like, what is your sentimentality worth? What are you really holding on to? What are you afraid of forgetting? More so importantly, what are you afraid of experiencing? Because it's like staring at the back. Like, you can't move forward if you have a mirror trying to scope up what's happening in the back. Spiritual growth and self-employment. I gotta wrap up the reading, guys. Okay, I could read this forever. I'm actually gonna read this though before I wrap up. The initiation, rite of passage, crossing the thresholds. Shit, this one's so hard to find. I don't know what. There. Okay, some of the most, rite of passage, crossing the threshold. Some of the most sacred initiation chambers and temples look scary from the outside, but are breathtakingly beautiful on the inside. This represents the journey that the soul pilgrim is required to take to reach somewhere sacred, but only the initiated can enter. Perhaps that's where you are right now. You are being tested, initiated because you are headed somewhere sacred. Initiations require that we cross the threshold from one world or state of being to the next. We are called to face what scares us and have to be willing to lose it all in order to gain a new way of being, of safety, of security, of depth, of meaning. Initiations, like rites of passage, mark the shift of one age to the next and can take place because of emotional turmoil, great loss, grief, or devastation. But it is through the seeming hardships that our heart cracks open and our spirit is invested to step forward. We take the sacred voyage into more of who we are and who we come here to be. It can be painful and scary, but once we begin the journey, we can be more ourselves than ever before. If you are in the middle of an initiation right now, you will get through it one day soon. You will bless the thing that broke you down and cracked you open because the world needs you open. You are going somewhere sacred. It'll be worth it, and you're closer than you think. Work your light action. Rite of passage, cross the thresholds. All right? Cross that threshold, guys, into the new timeline, and you're not alone. We're doing it together, okay? I love you guys. Please like, share, subscribe. And until the next time I see you, keep letting your inner angels live. Ciao.